What if your reflection stopped following you and started showing you the future? Tonight's story begins with a glitch, a harmless trick of the glass, but by the end you will never look at the mirror the same way. This is the mirror that shows tomorrow. Before we dive in, hit that like button to support the channel and subscribe if you're new to this journey of shocking twists and chilling suspense. Because what Sarah discovers next will make you question every reflection you've ever seen. Let's get into it. At first, Sarah thought it was a harmless glitch, her bathroom mirror playing 10 seconds ahead, almost like a preview of her next move. A clumsy accident was avoided, a little secret advantage, a gift. But then the reflection changed. It began smiling when she wasn't, watching when she turned away, and one night, it showed her something she could never forget, her own death. A vast hand reaching through the glass, dragging her into the dark. Was it just a trick of the mind, or had the mirror become something alive, something hunting her? Sarah wasn't the type of person who believed in the supernatural. If you had asked her, she would have told you she believed in hard facts, science, the things that could be explained, measured, broken into tidy rules, because so much of her life had never quite fit into neat categories. At work, she was always the one overlooked for promotion, the one left to handle the boring spreadsheets, while others got the exciting projects. In relationships, she had always been a step behind, either loving someone too late or letting them slip away because she thought she had time. Even in school, she had been the girl who almost made it to the top of the class, but never quite did. Almost, always almost. It was after one of those almost days that she first noticed the mirror. An ordinary Tuesday. The office had been suffocating, its walls buzzing with the same fluorescent hum that felt like it drilled into her skull. The drizzle outside was just heavy enough to soak her through without feeling dramatic, plastering her hair to her cheeks by the time she trudged home. She wanted silence, just silence, a hot shower, and her bed. Her apartment greeted her with that faint smell of old wood and dust that never quite left, no matter how often she cleaned. She stripped off her wet coat, kicked her shoes into the corner, and made her way to the bathroom. Steam from the shower blurred the mirror, smudging her outline into something ghostly. She brushed her teeth with slow, absent strokes, humming a tune that rose from nowhere. Then she noticed it. A droplet of condensation slid down the mirror, curving across the foggy outline of her cheek. Her gaze flicked to the faucet where, in reality, a droplet trembled at the tip of the tap. In the mirror, it had already fallen. On the faucet, it still clung. She frowned, toothbrush pausing in her mouth. A second later, the droplet released, splashing into the porcelain sink. Her heart made a startled jump, the kind that's not quite fear, but sharp enough to break her drowsy trance. She leaned closer, breath fogging the glass, searching for an explanation. Tired brain, maybe? Trick of light? Something about the steam? She waved her hand absently. The reflection waved too, only 10 seconds earlier. Her laugh came quick and nervous, too loud for the quiet room. "Great," she muttered, foam sticking to her lip. "My bathroom comes with spoilers." She almost left it at that. Almost. But then the mirror showed her dropping the toothbrush into the sink, her reflection's hand letting go before hers had even moved. Seconds later, the brush slipped from her fingers, in reality clattering into the basin. The sound echoed exactly, perfectly, as if the glass had rehearsed it. Warmth prickled across her arms. She raised her hand again, slower this time, testing. The reflection obeyed its own timeline, a version of herself living 10 seconds ahead. She spun in a circle. The reflection spun first. She pulled a grotesque face, tongue out, eyes wide, and there it was, her reflection mocking her before she had even finished. Her heart drummed against her ribs with a mix of unease and wonder. "Premonition, mirror," she whispered, half joking, half thrilled, and then it saved her. As she rinsed her mouth, she watched herself in the reflection bump her elbow into the coffee mug left on the counter, hot liquid splashing across her skin. She froze. In reality, her arm was still half an inch away. She yanked the mug back just before her elbow brushed it. A near miss. A future avoided. She let out a laugh, lighter this time, tinged with disbelief. The mirror was no trick. It was a gift. She went to bed with its image still flickering in her mind, the afterimage etched against her eyelids as she drifted off. By morning, curiosity had bloomed into obsession. She woke earlier than usual, robe cinched around her waist, messy hair falling into her face, and went straight back to the bathroom as though pulled there by some unseen force. The rules revealed themselves quickly. Always 10 seconds ahead, never 9, never 11, sight only, no sound, no whispered voices from the glass, no lottery numbers, no secrets, just vision. But vision was enough. She blinked. Future Sarah closed her eyes first. She traced loops in the air with her finger. Future Sarah drew them before she had finished. The certainty thrilled her. Every action confirmed the law. 10 seconds, she murmured. Exactly 10. The thrill rooted itself deep in her. Rules meant safety, predictability. And predictability was something she had craved her whole life. She had always felt like she was behind, stumbling to catch up, chasing futures that slipped away. But now the universe had tilted, just slightly, in her favor. For once, she was ahead. Jen shuffled out of her room, hair tangled, eyes puffy with sleep, wrapped in flannel pajama pants. Sarah was practically bouncing on her toes, energy fizzing through her veins. "Morning," Jen muttered, heading straight for the coffee machine. Sarah lingered at the bathroom doorway, excitement spilling over. "Want to see something weird?" Jen rubbed her temple. "It's 8 a.m. Weird has to wait until caffeine." But Sarah tugged at her sleeve, dragging her to the bathroom. She demonstrated with giddy laughter, waving, clapping, spinning in circles, while the reflection moved 10 seconds ahead of her. She spoke fast, words tumbling into each other about prediction, about the rules, about how it worked every single time. Jen squinted between her and the glass, unimpressed. "You've been in here way too long." "No, really," Sarah insisted. "It's 10 seconds ahead every single time. Watch." She clapped again, eyes darting between her real hands and the reflection. Jen gave her a long, skeptical look. "Cool trick. Maybe it's just, your brain finding patterns where there aren't any. Pareidolia, right? It's not a trick. It's real or sleep deprivation." The dismissal hit harder than Sarah expected. She bristled, shoulders tensing. Jen shook her head and left for her coffee, but Sarah stayed. She couldn't walk away now. The mirror wasn't an illusion. It was proof. It was power. That day she carried the secret, like fire, in her chest. At work, while her coworkers droned about deadlines and office gossip, she found herself glancing into windows, into glossy tabletops, testing them. Nothing happened. Only the bathroom mirror. That night, Sarah refused to sleep on the couch. She locked herself in her bedroom, curtains drawn, trying to block every reflective surface she could find. She even covered the small vanity mirror with a towel. For a few hours it seemed to work, until she went to the bathroom. The mirror above the sink was gone. Not broken, not removed, just gone. Then came the voice, and a writing from the mirror. The voice sounded soft at first, like a whisper behind her ear. "Sarah, Sarah stared into the mirror, but couldn't see anyone, just her name. Sarah became so scared that she let out a scream. Jen came in as she heard Sarah's scream. What? What happened? Jen, the mirror wrote my name and even called me out, Sarah said. Jen looked at the mirror but couldn't see anything. She helped Sarah to the kitchen to console her. Sarah, don't you think you haven't been getting enough sleep? Jen said, No, Jen, I saw it. It was there. Sarah felt disappointed that Jen couldn't believe her. She knew what she saw, but how can she explain it? The next few days blurred together. Sarah tried to go to work, but even there she wasn't safe. The mirrors in the office restroom flickered, sometimes showing her reflection smiling too wide, sometimes not showing her at all. Once she saw herself standing behind her own shoulder, even though the stall was empty. She stopped using mirrors altogether, relying on her phone camera to check her face. The days that followed blurred. She stopped going to work. Her neighbors whispered about screams at night, but she pretended not to hear when anyone knocked. Then one day she saw an old diary on Jen's bed, and it was written, "The mirror feeds on acknowledgement. Don't look, don't speak, don't write. The more you recognize it, the stronger it gets." Sarah dropped the diary as if it were on fire. Too late. She had looked, spoken, and written. Every single rule broken. As she rushed back to the bathroom, a vast hand reached through the glass again, trying to drag her into the dark. Sarah stayed awake long after the house fell into silence. Jen had gone to bed, but Sarah's eyes refused to close. Every time she blinked, she imagined a reflection waiting to grab her. As days passed, Sarah became more frustrated, more sad, and she started breaking everything around her. But each morning the mirror was whole again, standing tall like nothing happened. Jen tried talking to her on different occasions. Sarah, maybe this is your mind's way of dealing with stress. You've been running on fumes for months, work, school, family. Maybe it's catching up to you. Sarah shook her head violently. No, Jen, I know what I'm saying. I can't be hallucinating. I saw the hand. I saw it. But Jen didn't believe her. Jen hesitated. Her lips parted like she wanted to argue, but the desperation in Sarah's eyes silenced her. Finally, she sighed. Okay, then we'll deal with it. Together. Tonight we'll move the mirror out of here. Maybe it's just, I don't know, bad energy. We'll put it outside until we figure out what to do. Relief washed through Sarah like a brief, fragile wave of light. That evening, they tried. They really did. Jen grabbed the sides of the mirror while Sarah held the other side, grunting as they tried to lift it. But it didn't budge. It's like it's nailed into the floor, Jen muttered, confusion clouding her face. They couldn't move the mirror. Jen said tomorrow we will get someone to smash it. Sarah agreed. That evening, the air grew cold again, and that sound came again, and the mirror wrote, "You can't leave." She became scared, her heart hammered, but something inside her broke. But she was tired of running, tired of hiding. So she stood in front of the mirror. Her reflection smiled, sharp, unnatural. Behind her, Jen appeared, eyes, expression empty yet pleading. Sarah whispered, "What do you want from me?" And Jen stood behind her and whispered, "I told you not to look, but you never listened." Then the mirror shattered. Each one contained versions of her, some screaming, some crying, some clawing at the glass to get out. Jen ran away, and Sarah ran towards her, desperate. No matter how far she ran, Jen was fading into darkness. The last thing Sarah saw before everything went black was her own reflection in every single broken glass. And then came the heavy sound, this time not a whisper, but it was so loud that it shook the apartment. Then everywhere was calm, as if nothing happened. When morning came, the neighbors noticed her windows wide open, curtains flapping. The apartment was empty, no one was inside, but the mirror still stood in the bedroom, spotless and waiting, but waiting for what? No one knows, and no one was brave enough to glance into it. The neighbors swore they saw Sarah standing there, eyes wide, lips trembling, silently begging to be let out of the mirror. Everyone has been asking, where is Jen? Where is Sarah? What happened with the mirror? Could the mirror be a trap for anyone who tries to look? And that's the terrifying end of The Mirror That Shows Tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this story. Now it's your turn. What did you take away from it? What do you think happened to Jen and Sarah? Share your thoughts in the comment box below. I truly love to read them. So don't forget to subscribe, tap the notification bell so you don't miss it, and of course, hit that like button. Most importantly, share this story with your friends and family because stories like this are even better when experienced together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.